Hi, I'm Kev and welcome to this week's Draw Along. This week, the boys on the Comic Book Club read Alex Ross's Fantastic Four Full Circle, a loving tribute to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's seminal run on the Fantastic Four. Inspired by this, I decided this week we will draw one of Jack Kirby's favourite characters, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Before we do though, let's take a look at the Fantastic Four. In 1961, the Marvel Universe was officially born with the creation of the Fantastic Four, created by Stan Lee and Jack the King Kirby. Sure, characters such as Captain America and the Submariner already existed, but it was the FF that really kicked off the universe. Reed, Ben, Sue and Johnny were hit by cosmic rays on a space mission gone wrong, turning them into the super team, the Fantastic Four. Considered the first family in comics, the cast consists of contrasting character types: the brilliant but aloof Reed Richards, aka the Mr. Fantastic, Reed's girlfriend and now wife, the caring and strong Sue Storm, her little brother, hot-headed Johnny Storm, and Reed's best friend, the gruff no-nonsense Ben Grimm. Stan and Jack expanded on the FF's universe, introducing characters and aliens, some of which you will recognise from the MCU. These include Galactus, the Silver Surfer, the Inhumans, Annihilus and the Negative Zone, the Skrulls, the Kree and their enforcer Ronan the Accuser, the hero and warrior king of Wakanda, Black Panther, and of course the villainous tyrannical leader of Latveria, Doctor Doom. Before we start drawing, I just wanted to touch on foreshortening and what it is, as we're using some pretty dynamic foreshortening in this video. According to tape.org.uk, it's the technique of depicting an object or human body in a picture so as to produce an illusion of projection or extension in space. Basically, it makes objects seem closer or further away. This will obscure the rest of the object as well. So, for example, we have this cylinder. The cylinder on the left is lying down flat, and the cylinder on the right is aiming one end towards us. As you can see, when it's laid down flat, we can see the whole length of the cylinder. But when it's aiming towards us, we can see the end, and if it's slightly at an angle, like I've drawn it here, we can see a bit of the length of the cylinder. The end has obscured the rest of the cylinder. And this is foreshortening. So we got a bit of the object coming towards us, and the back end of the object is going away from us. So now let's look at the thing. The thing is punching towards the screen, towards our camera, if you will. That's why the fist looks so big, because it's closer to our line of vision. Let's say you're standing in a field and it's a field full of cows. The cows closer to you will look bigger than the cows further away. And that's perspective, and foreshortening is a form of perspective. As you can see, I've added in these side views as well. This is what the thing looks like from the side. So as you can see, his arm is straight forward, pretty much, slightly off to an angle, up in this punching upwards. So that's why we can see part of his forearm and part of the top of his arm as well. Again, it's shortened off, it looks stubbier than it would, but it's larger as well because it's coming towards us. In comparison to, say, his back leg, where his back leg is getting thrown behind him. He's running really fast, or he's punching really hard, and it's thrown his back leg behind him. And it's almost like hyperextended. We can't see the bottom half of his leg below the knee because it's bent upwards, so the thigh is covering that from our line of vision, obscuring the rest of his leg. This is foreshortening. Foreshortening is used in comics to make characters look more dynamic, to make perspectives more dynamic. It adds to the storytelling, and it's a great skill to learn. Jack Kirby was one of the best at it. Other artists got better at it. Neil Adams, for example, as well. He would have your characters kind of punching out of the panel. So these are great tips to learn. So now that we know what foreshortening is, let's crack on with the drawing. Okay, onto the drawing. So I've already drawn out the stick figure here, which I'm going to post on the screen as well. And as you can see in the top corner, I've added a little sketch of the thing. Remember we said like people are about 8 heads tall. For larger characters, you can make them about 6 heads tall, because the thing is kind of oddly proportioned as well. Yeah, so there. Right, I'm already going in with the foreshortening, so I'll you can see the foreshortening in the skeletal figure, the stick figure underneath. You can see the length of the arms are slightly shorter. I'm going in with our cylinder shapes as usual, and this is where these cylinder shapes really come in handy when you're facing the joints towards us. I wanted the fist a little bit bigger as well, so I just went in and highlighted it and made it larger. If you're drawing with pencil, simple thing to do, erase it, draw it again. There we go, we got the main bulk of the thing's figure. It's coming towards us, it's large, imposing, exactly what we want with this figure. Oh, and I messed up there. Right, so now I'm going into the penciling stage. You can see I've just figured out somewhere like the fingers are. The thing has 3 fingers. So going in with the pencils and just working out roughly where I want stuff. And mess around a little bit with this, with the face. Working out shadow as well. So there isn't going to be an inking process in this video because I pretty much pencil it fully, and then I didn't record record the inking. So as you can see, there we go. I'm changing his face. I want him to have kind of his mouth a bit further away from his nose. Going in with that foreshortening, adding some shadow, and then we added the rocky parts of the thing. Use kind of like hexagonal shapes, pentagonal shapes, hexagonal shapes, whatever you want to create the thing's rocky like skin. I go in and I follow kind of the curves of the cylinders underneath, which we'll see I properly illustrate for you in a minute. And now I'm just adding some shadowing. With the thing, we kind of you can pick which kind of rocks you want to shadow, or add shadow to, should I say. There we go, going in, adding it in. So the light source is from the top, so I'm just adding in all this here. So there we go. So see, I've added those circles on the legs, on the tubes. This way I can plan out the shapes of the rocks for his skin. So this helps. You can do it. It's probably best to do it on every part of the thing, really. If you draw a Spider-Man, this is a good way to lay out where his webs would go as well, following the form of the figure. And I'm just going to finish off, add a little bit more shadow. Just where it needs to be added. There we go, got a fully rendered image of the thing, fully penciled. And now go on to the inking stage. So he's fully inked. I don't need to show you, really, I pretty much went over everything. So now all I'm doing is using my select tool on a different layer underneath the line art, and I'm just gonna fill this in with colour. I didn't like that colour, so I went for a lighter orange, and now I'm just gonna add like the shadows and highlights. Again, just picking certain rocks that I'm gonna put in shadow. Just a darker shade of that orange for that. And I'll use a lighter shade of orange in a minute as well. Now at the beginning I called him the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. I didn't put the blue eyes in, which I think I should have done. There we go, in with the highlights now. So my light source is coming from the right of the picture, and some of those rocks are just catching that light. So there's kneecap as well. And yeah, just fixing little bits and pieces, adding the colour to his trunks, and there we go. Oh, okay, now we know how to draw the thing and how to foreshorten our characters. If you've drawn along with today's drawing, please send it to me at Kev's Draw Along on Instagram, and I'll be sure to share it on there, as well as maybe show it on the videos as well. Also, please check out the other videos on the Nerd Herd channel. We got the Comic Book Club, who recently read a Fantastic Four Full Circle featuring The Thing, and also we got the Dawn of Comics quiz, as well as What's All the Omnibus About, hosted by Phil from Phil's Nerdiverse. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, before I forget, please like and subscribe. I have to get that in as well. And until next time, keep drawing. Bye bye.